Hi there, my name is Gill Tiney and welcome to a four-part series for the 10-minute teach for Collaboration Global. And I've been thinking a lot recently about connection. And it's a universal issue. We've all had this problem at some time or another. In fact, if you haven't, I would suggest there's a possibility there's a massive ego or there's narcissism at play. But I think most people that I've met have come across this problem, and it's disconnection. And in a community where collaboration is at its core, disconnection is something that we don't want to experience, and yet we do. And especially in a collaboration, if you're in a collaboration, you're either disconnected, or you come across the problem as you're disconnected to the purpose of the collaboration, or you're disconnected to the people or a person in the collaboration, or you're disconnected to yourself. And that's when other issues can come into play. And that happens in your business as well. There are times when it's just not working properly. And you're like, this is clunky. What's going on? And you look to the practical. Most people do. This is my thing. I go, oh, well, my marketing's not working. Then that's why there's something wrong. If the marketing was working, the people would be coming in and I'd have more clients and everything would be fine. And actually, there's something else that's missing. Maybe your marketing is working and you're like, and the clients are coming in and it's like, well, okay, I've got the right clients, but they're the wrong clients. I'm disconnected to my clients. I'm not actually working well with my clients. It's the competition. They're putting out this bit of marketing and it's making my clients feel confused about it. And you'll find somewhere else to put the blame. It's not me. Can't possibly be me. No, it's them out there. And when you're disconnected to yourself, then lots of other little issues and problems can occur. You can find it, as I say, in your business. You can just find that there's something that's missing, and you're like, I don't know what it is. So this happened for me with a previous business partner, and how I kind of recognized it eventually is like, I'm not happy. Bottom line, this used to be fun. It's not fun anymore. I used to love doing this or this or this. It's a chore. It's getting on my nerves. It's making me a bit angry. It's getting me frustrated, and life isn't as good as I think it should be. And these are the problems. So you go to what's the practical problem, and it isn't always a practical problem. And something can be missing for you. And these are things I've experienced for me. So I'm just going to go through stuff that I've worked through in the past. And I would imagine some of it's going to resonate with you. So if you're in a position at the moment where there's a part of your life that is like, oh, that person is driving me nuts, there's a disconnect. Part of your business, why isn't this working? There's a disconnect. Collaboration, this should be going smoothly. Look at the people involved. There's a disconnection. So over the next 4 weeks, I really want to have a look at how we can identify that disconnection, see the reason for that disconnection, and build it back up so that we can go, woof, we're flying again. Whether it's a collaboration, whether it's a relationship or family situation, even whether it's to do with your business. If there's that disconnect somewhere, and usually it's an internal disconnect for you, understanding where it comes from, understanding what it is. Sometimes you just don't know. I'm just not happy and I don't know why I'm not happy. That's the truth. The truth of when there's a disconnection. I wake up and I feel grumpy. I can't sleep very well. I'm not getting a good night's sleep. Nothing's giving me joy like I used to have. What's going on? And when these are some of the things that you're coming up against, there's a disconnect. And this is what I want to talk about in the coming weeks that are going on. So first stop solution. Okay, if this is you and you've got these problems and you've gone through what's the practical, I've got a disconnect with my business, what's going on? And you've done some checks that, well, that kind of works and that works. And if I could fix that, which is a bit of a problem at the moment, is it going to fix this happy, non-happy feeling inside of me? And quite often the answer is, well, no. So my big frustration, many of you know, is that I get frustrated by tech because I don't enjoy it. But if I took that out and somebody was to sweep that away from me, if I've got a disconnect in a relationship or a disconnect with myself or a disconnect in a collaboration, the tech isn't the problem. That really isn't the problem. That's just an excuse I'm making, thinking it's the problem. And you might be going down the same route. Oh, I haven't got enough clients. That's the problem. If I get more clients, that'll be fine. Everything will be fine then. Well, you'll find there are just other problems that you will associate, and the disconnect is somewhere in you for whatever reason. Maybe you've got a bit of imposter syndrome going on, and you think, I'm not good enough, and my self-worth is my self-esteem is way down low. But you're hiding that from yourself, and you're making it something to do with somebody else or something else. So there are all sorts of reasons why this disconnect can happen. But generally, if you get you right, the disconnect with you. So if you're feeling empowered and confident, and as Lizzie Berntal will tell you, Dr. Lizzie, that you're resilient and you're feeling good, there's no disconnect with you. You're connected to your core. You're connected to your spirit and your soul and your purpose and your mission. And it's like, yes, I'm going to knock every problem out of the way. There's a problem in marketing. Let's deal with that. There's a problem with tech. Let's deal with that. And you're fine. And everything you can overcome. But we go through this. Okay, so you might have a session and go, yes, I know my self-worth. It doesn't mean to say in 6 months' time, it's like, oh, what's going on? It's called being human, right? We know what that feels like. We know that, you can get it set up here, but it isn't always set here. So what's your first step solution to getting this right, to getting this connection to you when you're like, yes, I'm invincible today. Tomorrow you might need a bit of help, but today I'm invincible. So what's the first step? Well, go talk to someone, I would say, it's the first step, because if it's all going round and round and round in your head, it's just going to go round and round and round in your head. It's very difficult to pick out the pieces when you haven't got someone to talk to. So I would go and find a coach. I would go and talk to some of the wonderful people at Collaboration Global that you know might be able to help you wherever your issue seems to lie. If you're having an issue with the culture at the office, then you're going to go and talk to Ben Drury. If you have a culture with just business isn't fun anymore, you go and talk to Andrew Miller. If you have an issue with, I don't feel like I can do this anymore, you'd go and talk to Lizzie Bernthal. There are so many people in this community that you can go and share what the problem might be. I've put in as an attachment to this talk a sheet of questions that you can at least ask yourself. If you're not ready to go and talk to somebody else yet, although I suggest you should, come talk to me. Just go and ask yourself these list of questions and see what the answer is, and just see how connected you are, and feel like, is this a big problem? Do I need to, or can I deal with it myself, and maybe my partner, or maybe a friend, or maybe somebody in the community, and I can just deal with it. That's the first step. Do that. Secondly, I would suggest just go back down the gratitude route and look back over the last week, the last month, the last year even, and see what you're grateful for. See how awesome you've been. You have been. There will be people you have helped, people that you have enriched their lives, people that are grateful that you're their friend, people that love you, and people that you love as well. So be grateful for things that you've connected to, and just start to kind of, rather than striving forward and I'm not good enough and I can't do this and I need to do that and I should be doing this and I haven't done that yet, and whoa, just sit here. Here is all we have. This moment. We're allowed to stop looking forward, and we're allowed to go, this moment, I'm healthy, I have all my faculties, I have some friends, I have a roof over my head, I have food in my belly. Pretty lucky person. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. So let's go down the gratitude route and just get your feet on the ground, as Alessandro would tell us, and be grounded to this planet that we're in and this opportunity that we have now, and see where you're going to go next. Okay, so be in gratitude. I would also spend some time, again with somebody else if you can, just remind yourself of your why. Most people in Collaboration Global Community have kind of sussed out why they're doing stuff. They have their purpose. They know why they're connecting. And sometimes if we're struggling with things, life just gets a bit hectic and a bit busy, we forget why we're doing this. So I ask myself this question when time gets tough, when tech drives me nuts. I say, all right, Jill, don't do it. Don't do the tech, don't do the business, don't do the community, don't get out of bed, don't do it. It's fine. Go and work in Tesco's. Go and do something else. Go and write a dozen books. Go and be on holiday for the rest of your life. Whatever you think is, I'd love to be doing that. Tell yourself you can do that forever. That's fine. Don't do the stuff you don't want to do. Do the stuff you love doing forever. That's not currently your purpose. You know, I'm going to go and eat cream donuts all day long. After the first bite, you've probably had enough already. But when I give that option to myself, I'm like, but I want to do this. I need to do this. This is why I'm here. Okay, so what can you do about it? Reaffirm your why. That connects you to the whole reason you're on this planet, and that connects you to everybody else on the planet. So take some energy from the people who are going through far worse things than you are, and they are still strong and they are going. So call up somebody who you know is like that. Speak to somebody who's really on the mission, who you admire, who you get inspired by, who is part of your community, it's part of our community. Whoever it is, just talk to them and get re-inspired about your mission and your why. That kind of gets you back to, yeah, damn right, I'm going to do this, whatever the problems might be. The other thing I would say, which is very, again, I do this myself, is I move away from where I normally work. You're sitting in the same space all the time with the same things around you, and the clutter and the noise and the regularity of the stuff you don't like doing comes to meet you. For me, I go to the ocean. I'm lucky nowadays, it's only half an hour's car drive. But in the old days, before I moved, it would be like a 2.5 hour stint to get to the ocean. And I'd go to my happy place, which is a secret, don't tell anyone, but I go to St Ives in Cornwall, and I just stand there, and usually the tears fall because I'm so happy in that space. And I remind myself that whatever else is going on back there, it's not a problem. It really isn't a problem. And you do feel that the universe, the ocean, for me, the energy of the planet and where we are and who we are kind of seeps back into my pores, and I get more connected to me. That's the beginning. That's the easy stuff. If you can't get to the ocean, if that's not your thing, maybe it's a running river. Maybe it's a walk in a forest. Maybe it's just go up to your favorite tree and give it a hug. Get into nature. Go in a garden if you're lucky enough to have a garden, and just sit on the grass for a little while, provided it's not raining. Don't tell me you've caught a cold because you're taking my advice. Just go and be with nature. Go for a walk. Look up at the stars at night. You are a tiny speck of something much, much bigger. Look at the clouds as they float past. Look at a rainbow if it appears. Look at the rain coming down and listen to it. Be part of that silence and that magic. You are a very special person. You are here for a reason. And you make a difference. And no matter what problems come your way, sometimes of your own making, we are the world's worst at creating something that isn't really there. Pause and remember why you're here and get connected to you. So go and look at those list of questions and answer them. Give yourself 10 minutes of you time. And then come back to this 10-minute teach next week, and we'll go on to the next bit of how we can connect you and make you absolutely awesome and understand your self-worth so that you can make a difference to many, many more people. Okay, I'll see you next time.